AJ Brown, he's recruiting Julio Jones. He's letting Julio know, hey, this is why you need to come to Tennessee.
Oh,
This is why
absolutely.
you need to be tight. And I will say this: the format that AJ Brown chose to recruit Julio Jones, I am all for. I am here. I don't know if you know this, but he made a TikTok video, and I'm a little bit of a TikTok stan. I will say that, but he made a TikTok video, not convincing, maybe convincing Julio Jones on this is why you should come to the Titans. Here's who we got. This is how it's going to help you. And I think I am very excited to see more and more of this player-led recruiting, essentially.
See, it's what you love to see. I saw it. How could you not? It was phenomenal. It was out there. It got, obviously, if it made it to most of the world, Julio Jones definitely saw it, which is what is cool about TikTok. You make a cool TikTok like that, float it out into the world. It's going to catch some buzz. Boom. Next thing you know, it actually works. Julio Jones is actually watching it. And now all of a sudden, you never know. You never
Yeah.
know, because the reality is you're not only seeing it reported in one or two places. You're seeing Julio Jones to the Titans reported multiple places now. That's a big story. Now I understand, the Seahawks popped in last night. You've seen a lot about the Patriots, obviously, but
Yes.
I mean, I haven't seen anybody on the Seahawks. I haven't seen Russell Wilson get out there and hit some fucking, TikTok dance. And then, like, I haven't seen anything like that. I've seen Belichick out here talking about, some sort of, astronaut in the ocean playing in the background. And he's just, out there, like, making it happen. And so far, the Titans are the only team that's really, seeming to make a push in a way that I think would attract someone in the modern NFL. So,
In, and the only other team I will say is, and we did touch on this, was the Arizona Cardinals with DeAndre Hopkins saying he would restructure some of his deal to get
that's right.
Julio. So to me, those would be the top two teams with players who are actively pushing to get Julio on their team. But I'm more curious in how many times did AJ Brown have to post that video to get it to go viral? Because I imagine the first one or two times he was probably stuck on like 200
That's what
views.
happens.
Really couldn't break through that TikTok viralicity, as we say. But I'm glad to see maybe with some of his Pro Bowl accolades, his stardom in the NFL. Maybe that helped. Maybe the algorithm took that into
That's
account
what
and
helps.
boosted that. So it is a little easier for these Pro Bowlers to get their TikToks to go
Of
viral,
course.
but we still try, and you just got to try. That's all you got to do at the end of the day. But yeah, I love that AJ Brown actively is like, hey, I want to win. That's a sign of a guy that's in your team, in your culture, that clearly wants to win if he's trying to get a top talent
Yep.
like Julio Jones to
Who
the
plays the
team.
same
And if it
position?
is,
Plays the same position as
for
him,
sure.
mind you, which is
It,
also like a factor here.
yes. And even if it is just like and I'm sure like the management looks at it like, oh, well, that's like a silly TikTok thing, and like how that could be beneficial for the team. But like I think you see a lot of these young guys starting to, use some of these TikToks. And like all the teams have their own TikToks, so they get it to a certain extent, but I don't know if they understand like the actual TikTok culture. But I know these players that are coming up in the league do, and I'll be more excited to see these players not only just promote themselves, but football in general. And it's a nice peek into their lives, unless it's ran by a media team, and in that case, probably not. But seeing something like AJ Brown doing this to recruit Julio Jones, I'm all for it. It's something I would do if I was in his position. Um, and if I was AJ Brown, I would start a series. Day one of trying to get Julio Jones on the Titans. Day two of trying to get Julio
There
Jones
you
on it,
go.
and just post one video each day. And by the time 20 days from now, you're gonna have Julio Jones. That's how TikTok works. So
There you go.
AJ Brown, if you're hearing this, maybe do that series. You'll get him on the team. No problem.
No problem. See,
Um,
now I'll tell you what a monster of a team that would be. That is not a
yeah,
team you want to have to game plan for defensively. When you are looking in the backfield at Derrick Henry, who they will give the ball to 40 times if they need to. They have no qualms with that. And you're like, all right, well, let's go ahead, come up. Maybe we bring that safety down. Maybe we make sure we got enough guys down here in the box to stop this freak beast. Oh, wait. There's another athlete unlike anyone we've ever seen. from the University of Alabama, standing right over there, and
named Ryan
he
Tanner.
is
Oh, sorry.
he is equally going to be as challenging to defend, and that's Julio Jones. I don't know how you could possibly game plan for that defensively, um, and if they can pull that off, I think that is very interesting. And it also makes me wonder, when you look at this, does Julio Jones end up with a team like that because he does want to play with some of these other offensive pieces, right? And he doesn't want to be the focal point of the offense like he would be in New England, for example, right? If he plays with a team like Arizona or a team like Tennessee, he's part of an offense that has a bunch of weapons, right? But if he goes somewhere, I'll be honest, if he goes to Seattle, I like DK Metcalf, but Julio's kind of the only weapon there, the big time weapon there, you know. Same thing if he goes to New
Yeah,
England. He sort of is. It's the same thing as he's been in Atlanta all these years. I'm not saying all the other
yeah,
receivers in Atlanta suck, but what I am saying is, like, at the end of the day, he's kind of been it. He's kind of been it. He's been focused on so much in his career. And as he gets a little later in his career, I just wonder if maybe he's looking for a spot where he can feel comfortable, where maybe, to be honest, he does have a guy like AJ Brown on the other side of the ball who is a legitimate Pro Bowl level player, and
yeah,
Derrick Henry in the backfield. So I'm just
yeah.
curious
I
to
mean,
see where his head's at.
yeah, and I think Julio wants to win. I think that's probably higher on his list of things to accomplish with this move away from the Falcons. So I do think you're looking at a team that is like ready to be geared up to like a Titans or an Arizona Cardinals that seem like they might just be one piece away from really pushing that over the edge. And if they were able to get Julio Jones, that piece is probably bigger than the piece they thought they needed, and that's really going to push them over the edge. So really exciting to see, the recruiting style, kind of how the NFL is changing in a lot of ways with these new social media platforms popping up. And I think I could speak for us both here, Nick, when we say we're here for it.